Hi, welcome back to Cards with Zed. Today, I've got two collector booster boxes from the newest Magic the Gathering set, Marvel's Spider-Man. I'm going to open up all 24 packs, and we're going to track the expected value and the price of every card, and we're going to see if we make a profit or if we lose money on opening these packs. Now, this set's kind of controversial. It's a small set, and people haven't been pulling a lot of value out of this, but I got a pretty wicked deal on the booster boxes. I paid a total of $1,137.60 American for the two booster boxes, so I'm getting this kind of below market value. The cost of each pack is $47.40, and the expected value with the release date prices is $89.42. So I'm going to be making bank off of these booster packs, I think. We'll see how it goes. If you'd like to learn more about what's inside the booster boxes, I'm going to give a quick presentation on the expected value. If you want to skip ahead to the openings, there's timestamps in the description. You can go ahead and see what I open. So Marvel Spider-Man Collector Boosters using the release date prices. The expected value is $89.44 based on all the expected values of all the slots. You get 5 foil commons, 4 foil uncommons, 1 foil full art land, 1 foil default frame rare, mythic or rare, 2 non-foil booster fun cards, 1 borderless source material card, and 1 1 booster fun rare or mythic rare. The commons are worth 78 cents on average. The prices I have for these are just based off of what Scryfall had in their API, and they're a little inflated just because it's release day. So the common is worth the foil common is worth 91 cents on average. There's also a foil 2-color land worth 50 cents on average, and a foil eternal common, which isn't legal in standard, worth $1.43 on average. The best commons are Merciless Enforcers at $2.90 and Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary at $2.17. Next, we have foil uncommons. The foil uncommon is worth $1.34 on average. If you get just a normal foil uncommon, it's worth 89 cents on average. The eternal commons are worth $5.33 on average. Those are the ones that aren't legal in standard. And then there's some foil scene uncommons worth $2.71 on average. The best uncommons are Lila, Holographic Assistant at $6.74, and Prowler, Misguided Mentor at $6. The foil full art lands I love. They're like little spiderweb lands. They're worth $2.41 on average. The best foil full art land is the Island at $3.47 or the Forest at $3.32. The default frame rare or mythic rare is worth $1.03 on average. Most of the time you're going to get a foil rare worth $6.24 on average, but you can also get a foil mythic worth $28.90 on average, a foil eternal rare worth $15.60 on average, or a foil eternal mythic worth $49.51. The best default frame rare or mythic rare is the Soulstone at $133.79, or Spider-Man Peter Parker at $59.25. For non-foil booster fun, it's worth $10.52 on average. Half the time we're going to get an extended art rare worth $5.28. 5% of the time we're going to get an extended art mythic worth $27.46 on average. 9.2% of the time we're going to get a web slinger rare worth $8.69 on average. 1.5% of the time we'll get a web slinger mythic worth $41.54 on average. 15% of the time we'll get a panel rare worth $3 on average. 3% of the time we'll get a panel mythic worth $27 on average. 4.6% of the time we'll get a scene rare worth $15 on average. 0.8% of the time we'll get a scene mythic worth $46 on average. And 9.2% of the time we'll get a scene box worth $26 on average. The best non-foil booster fun is Gwenom Remorseless at $61.64, or Anti-Venom Horrifying Healer at $59.54. For borderless source material, it's worth $16 on average. 75% of the time you'll get it in non-foil, which is worth $11.45 on average. And 25% of the time you'll get it in foil, which is worth $29.64 on average. The best borderless source material is Opposition Agent at $135, or Venom King in Black at $103. For foil booster fun rare mythic rare, this is the most expensive card we can get in the pack, and it's the last one in the pack. It's worth $29.03 on average. Most of the time we'll get a foil extended art rare or extended art mythic worth $8 or $37 respectively. We can also get the foil Web Slinger rare or mythic rares worth $20 and $75 respectively. The foil panel rare and mythics are worth $6 or $44 on average. The foil scene rare or mythics are worth $34 or $75 on average. There's also a foil classic comic worth $239.40 on average. Less than 1% of the time, we're going to get a foil costume change card worth at least $700 on average. Less than 1% of the time, we're going to get a foil Gauntlet Soulstone worth $881.25 on average. And extremely rare, less than 1% for sure, is the foil Cosmic Soulstone. I don't have a price for it because there's none on TCG Player, but I've heard it going up to like $20,000. So that's the best card for sure, and we would go nuts if we got it. That's it for the presentation. Let's get started with the first collector booster box. Okay. Pack number 1. They don't have the little slits in them. We'll see how easy they are to open. Pretty easy. Okay, we start off with a hot dog token. The robot on the back. Flip it over. Our first card in Spider-Man is Unstable Experiment, worth 46 cents. And Wild Pack Squad, worth $1.85. Again, these are release day prices, so they're going to be more expensive than you might get when you go to open it. Next is... oops. Next is Spider-Bot, worth $1.36. Then we have Kraven's Cats, worth 23 cents. Vibrant Cityscape, that's worth 57 cents. Alien Symbiosis, that's worth $2.56. Prison Break, that's worth 68 cents. Prowler Clawed Thief, I gotta get the collector number. That's worth 89 cents. Raging Goblinoids, that's worth 20 cents. Here's our foil Basic Land. That's a mountain worth $2.19. We get Ultimate Green Goblin. That's worth $9.57. Lady Octopus. That's worth $9.55. Let me make sure I only get one card here. Iron Spider, cool. $2.79. That's worth $15.41. Very cool. It is a legendary artifact creature for 3 mana. It's got Vigilance. You tap, put a 1/1 counter on each artifact, creature, and or vehicle you control, and you pay 2 mana to remove 2 1/1 counters from among artifacts you control to draw a card. Cool. So this would go great in a like Affinity for Artifacts deck. I like it. That's our first sleevable card in the Spider-Man boosters. And yeah, $15.41 is pretty good. Tangle. That is collector number 38. That's worth $8. And then, hopefully the most expensive card. This was the Buy a Box promo. $2.54 is Spider Sense, worth $13.65. We can read that one as well, and it deserves a sleeve. Spider Sense. You pay 2 mana for it. It's got Web Slinging Blue. Counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. So Web Slinging is an ability You can pay this cost instead of the full mana cost if you return a tapped creature to your hand when you cast it. So this is like a 1 mana counter spell sometimes. Pretty cool. I love the flavor. Counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. Yeah, triggered abilities are brutal. You can turn off people's fetch lands if you want. Oh no, that's not a triggered ability, that's an activated ability. So you can't turn off fetch lands. But still, you get to counter some powerful abilities. Okay, not bad. Our first pack, we made $19.77. Let's go on to the second pack. And we're gonna need to break out our scissors. We get a cool looking spider token. And on the back side, whoops, is a treasure token. Flip the cards over. We get Venom Evil Unleashed. That's worth $1.35. Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary, that's one of the best ones we can get. That's worth $2.17. Bagel and Schmear, a ridiculous card to have in Magic, $1.33. Daily Bugle Reporters, $1.41. Rampaging Classmates, that's one of the Eternal cards. That's $1.83. Silver Sable, Mercenary Leader, that's worth 40 cents. Sun Spider, Nimble Webber, that's worth $1.81. Oopsies, I'm throwing cards everywhere. Vulture Scheming Scavenger, that is worth $1.61. Spider Slayer, Hatred Honed, that is worth 24 cents. We get a gorgeous looking island, $1.90. Love the foiling on this. Gorgeous. Spiderweb. We get Iron Spider again. This time it's only worth $4.47 because it's not the extended art. For our extended art booster fun, we get Agent Venom. That's worth $5. Friendly Neighborhood. That's worth $7.59. Let's go to the next one. Winds of Change is a foil. Let me get the foil price. That is worth $13.50. Let's read it. Let me get a sleeve. Winds of Change. It costs 1 red mana. It's a sorcery. Each player shuffles the cards from their hand into their library, then draws that many cards. Interesting. Not the most powerful card, but maybe if you have ways to shut off the cards in their hand, or have triggers based on people drawing cards, that might be good. Cool comic book art on here. Very cool. And our last card is Strength of Will. That is worth $6. Our next booster pack . Little tricky to open. There we go. We get an art series card. We start off with Steel Wrecking Ball. That is worth 79 cents. Risky Research. 62, sorry, that's 35 cents. Mob Lookout. That is $1.13. Beetle, Legacy Criminal. That is $1.05. City Pigeon. I heard it's a good card in limited. That is worth $1.84. MJ, Rising Star. That's an Eternal card. It's worth $4.90. Cool. Sandman's Quicksand. It's worth 24 cents. Robotics Mastery. 25 cents. This next card looks pretty cool. Spider-Man Noir. Let me see the collector number. 204. That's worth $3.74. Very cool card. Foiling looks nice. We get a Plains. That's worth only 83 cents. Next is Sandman Shifting Scoundrel. That's worth $8.52. Wow. Sandman's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. And you could pay 5 mana to return this card and target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Cool. Very powerful. Oh, this one's a sad card. The Death of Gwen Stacy. 223. That's worth $7.72. And it is a cool saga. You pay 3 mana for it. The first turn, it destroys target creature. Second turn, each player may discard a card. Each player who doesn't loses 3 life. And then the third turn, it'll be exile any number of target players' graveyards. Brutal. Grasping Tentacles. That is an Eternal card. That is worth $25.50. Wow. Let's get a sleeve for that. That is 1 generic mana, a blue, and a black. It's a sorcery. Target opponent mills 8 cards. You may put an artifact card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Cool. You'd have to target someone with an artifact deck. Otherwise you're just milling them 8 cards and not getting a lot done. But that's a cool card. I wouldn't expect it to be $25.50. But I guess because it's an Eternal rare, it's worth a little more. Cool. We get Terminate. That one's worth $14.37. I know Terminate. Let's get a sleeve for it. Terminate is a black and a red. It's an instant, destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated. It's got some cool Spider-Man art on it. Cool. And we get Sandman again. This time in extended art. This one's worth $5.70. Wow, pretty good pack. We made $30 on that pack. Our profit is going up, I think. Oh no, I've discovered a grave error in my profit calculation. I was calculating the value minus the expected value, and not the value minus the cost. Let me fix my graph, and that's going to change some previous things. Okay, wow, our chart looks much different now. We've gone from losing $200 to being only losing like $80. That's a very basic mistake I made. But my chart is updated. It's the correct trajectory now. Let's continue on with the next pack here. Okay, we got a Art Series card. Our first card is Pumpkin Bombardment, 139. That's worth 53 cents. Merciless Enforcers. That is worth $2.90. I think that's one of the better ones you can get, if not the best one. Romantic Rendezvous. That is worth $1.96. Mysterious Phantasm. It's worth 24 cents. Angry Rabble. 53 cents. Sun Spider Nimble Webber. That is worth $1.81. Silver Sable Mercenary Leader. It's worth 40 cents. Spider Suit. That's worth 46 cents. Heroes Hangout. It's worth $1.81. We get our basic land, it's a forest. That's worth $3.32. Our rare is Morlun, Devourer of Spiders. That's $3.95. Bioorganic Carapace. That's worth $8. Nice. Gwen Stacy, cool. That's worth, wow, $58.63. It's a double-sided card. Let's take a look at it. Get a sleeve for it first. Gwen Stacy costs 1 and a red. It's a legendary creature, human, performer, hero. When Gwen Stacy enters, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as you control this creature. And then you can pay 2, a blue, red, and a white to transform Gwen Stacy. Activate only as a sorcery. The backside you can cast for this, or it can be transformed from the other side. It's a 4/4 Flying Vigilance Haste. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, put a 1/1 counter on Ghost Spider. You can remove 2 counters from Ghost Spider, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So cool. This would be a cool commander for like an Exile Matters deck. Red has a lot of those effects where you can cast cards from exile. Yeah, very cool. Ghost Spider. Cool. $58 is our best hit so far. Let's look at the next card. Saw in Half. That's $6.10. Cool art. And our last card, Spider-Verse. That is worth $19.44. Very nice. Let's take a look at it. Costs 3 and 2 red. It's an enchantment. The legend rule doesn't apply to spiders you control. Cool. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may copy it. If you do, you may choose new targets for the copy. If the copy is a permanent spell, it gains haste. Do this once only every turn. Cool. So you just get to cast copies of spiders. This would go well in the Gwen Stacy deck, I guess, because you'd be casting spells from exile. Very cool. Every spider ever and then some. Cool. Very cool card. $19.44. Look at our profit line at the top there. Let me get my finger on camera. That's looking good at the top there. About to break even on our YouTube video so far. We'll open up the next pack. Making amateur moves here in the way I'm opening my booster pack. Should cut it all the way through. There we go. We'll grab the token from the back. The treasure / human citizen. We get Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist. That is worth $1.04. Taxi Driver. That is worth 15 cents. Grow Extra Arms. That is worth $1.55. Venom's Hunger. $1.43. Suburban Sanctuary. 45 cents. Living Brain Mechanical Marvel. That is worth 24 cents. Rhino Barreling Brute. $1.37. Chameleon Master of Disguise. 46 cents. And Lila Holographic Assistant. I think that's one of the better cards. Yeah, $6.74. I think that's the best card we can get in that slot. Nice. My pile's falling over here. Let me get things sorted out so I don't lose my $300 worth of cards so far. Our land is 192 for collector's number. That's $2.19. Hydroman Fluid Felon. That is worth $4.35. Symbiote Spider-Man. Cool. That one's worth, ooh, $24.84. Let's read it. We'll get a sleeve for it first. Oopsies. Symbiote Spider-Man 2, and then you can pay a blue or a black. It's a legendary creature, Symbiote Spider Hero. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. It's got an ability called Find New House. Pay 2 and a blue or a black. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains this card's other abilities. Ooh. Activate only as a sorcery. So you can make it so another creature has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library, put one of them in your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Cool. This is a very resilient creature because you get to use it twice. I can see why it's $24. Our next card is Sandman Shifting Scoundrel. That's our third Sandman so far. It's $3.62. The next card is Thrill of Possibility. I've cast this card before. It's worth $2.02. And then our final card, Carnage Crimson Chaos, $7.11. Very cool. We made $10 on that pack. Still waiting for the day that I accidentally cut through cards in the pack with my scissors. Okay. We'll grab the token. It's a hot dog / robot. First one is Venom Evil Unleashed. That is worth $1.35. Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary, one of the best cards in that slot. It's worth $2.17. Bagel and Schmear, $1.33. Daily Bugle Reporters, $1.41. Doc Ock Sinister Scientist, that's worth $1.04. Spider Suit, 46 cents. Now we're going to start seeing duplicates because this is a small set. So we are going to see a lot of the same cards. Tombstone Career Criminal is $1.58. Spider-Man India, that's worth 26 cents. Come on, card. And Flash Thompson Spider-Fan, that is $1.26. We get our Swamp. That is worth $2.23. Shadow of the Goblin. That is 87. That is worth $7.78. Nice. Kraven's Last Hunt, one of those comic book rares. 87 cents. Superior Spider-Man. That is worth $3.47. Clever Impersonator, a card from one of the first sets I played. That is foil. Let me get the foil price. That is $15.69. Wow. The non-foil was like $1. So maybe this is just a release day price and explains why it's expensive, but we'll read it anyways. It's 2 and 2 blue. It's a creature, shapeshifter. You may have this creature enter as a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield. Very cool. I don't know this character from Spider-Man, but it looks pretty neat. And our last card is Craven the Hunter. $4.64. This is our first losing pack. We are losing $1.86 on this pack, and our profit chart is just about to hit break even. Pack number 6. Or is this 7? Yeah, I think this is 7. Oopsies. I've mixed up the cards. That's a common. Okay. Can't be accidentally thrown out cards. Spider / illusion villain. Cool. Hot dog cart. Worth $1.79. Again, these prices are going to change after people sell all their cards, so they're not going to be worth $1.79 come a week from now. Professional wrestler. We get web up. $1.13. Risky research. That's 35 cents. Oscorp research team. 22 cents. Rhino's Rampage. 32 cents. School Days. 24 cents. Shriek Troublemaker. 73 cents. Ezekiel Sims Spider Totem. It's 33 cents. We get the island. That's the best land we can get. $3.47. Ooh, Spectacular Spider-Man. Is this one of the costume change ones? No. I thought it was. Spectacular Spider-Man is still worth $41.36 though. Let's give it a read. That's probably one of the better rares we can get. Spectacular Spider-Man. 1 and a white. It's a legendary creature, spider human hero. It has flash. You can pay 1 mana to give it flying until end of turn. You can pay 1 mana and sacrifice it to give creatures you control hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And it's a 3/2. That's pretty good. Yeah, I see why it's $41. It's a solid flash creature that can get flying and it can protect your team. Pretty good. Cool, $41.36. Our next card is Urban Retreat. It's a land, hopefully that's good. It's worth $3.96. Mr. Negative. $8.26. Cool art with the inverted colors. Next one is a Rite of Replication. That's worth $4.94. And our last card is Parker Luck. That is worth $3.62. Okay. We made $23 on that pack, and we are finally above break even on the channel. Let's get the next one. Our token is a Spider-Man Art Series card. This one is a vehicle, subway train, 176. That's worth 46 cents. Selfless Police Captain, 48 cents. Gallant Citizen, $1. Doc Ock's Henchman, 22 cents. Amateur Hero, that's an Eternal card, worth $2.08. Tombstone Career Criminal, $1.58. Spider-Man India, 26 cents. Vulture Scheming Scavenger, $1.61. Aunt May, $2. Planes. That's worth 83 cents. Ooh, Anti-Venom. That's one of the better cards. That is worth $37.50. Very nice. We'll get that in a sleeve. Anti-Venom Horrifying Healer. Costs 5 white mana. It's a legendary creature symbiote hero. When Anti-Venom enters, if he was cast, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Cool. White gets reanimation. And if damage would be dealt to Anti-Venom, prevent that damage and put that many 1/1 counters on him. Okay, so he's kind of invincible. A 5/5 that grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Pretty cool. You very much have to be mono white though for this. But I could see a cool commander deck being built around this. Mono white reanimator. Cool. $37.50. This next one is Rent is Due. That's $1.05. Spider-Man 2099. That's worth $9.21. Mindbreak Trap. That is worth $16.81. Cool. We'll read it. Mindbreak Trap. 2 and 2 blue. It's an instant trap. If an opponent casts 3 or more spells this turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the spell's mana cost, and you can exile any number of target spells. Cool, so it's a counter for when someone's going off with Storm. You get to counter all their Storm spells. Nice. And it's $16.81. I like it. Our last card is Bioorganic Carapace. That's worth $5.66. Very nice. We made $33 on that pack. Our next pack. I'm doing the thing where I keep a card in the pack. And those are the commons and the token. Treasure / human citizen. Taxi driver. Grow extra arms. Venom's Hunger. Subway train. Eerie Gravestone. Secret Identity. Very cool art on this. $2.36. Wisecrack. That's 22 cents. The Spots Portal. 31 cents. Spider Piloted by Penny. That is $1.68. Very cool card. Forest. That is $3.32. Doc Ock's Tentacles. $2.10. Oscorp Industries. $2.47. The Origin of Spider-Man. That is $5.39. Very cool comic book art on it. Comeuppance. That is a mythic worth $2.80. And we get Spider-Woman Stunning Savior. That is $14.28. That can get a sleeve. You pay 1 and a white or a blue. It's got flying and Venom Blast. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter tapped. Cool. That's an annoying 2/2. I like it. Okay, we got 3 packs left in this box, and then we'll move on to the other box. Here's our copy token. Copy/human citizen. We get Shock. What a classic card. It's worth 44 cents. Steel Wrecking Ball. 79 cents. Beetle Legacy Criminal. $1.05. Mob Lookout. $1.13. Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary. $2.17. Aunt May. $2. Molten Man Inferno Incarnate. Spider-Mobile. I didn't know there was a Spider-Mobile. 21 cents. Spider Bite Web Warden. Cool. A digital Spider-Man. That's worth 94 cents. We get our land. $2.19. Craven the Hunter. That's $9.55. That's almost worthy of a sleeve. The Clone Saga. That's worth $3.79. Cool saga with comic book art. Electro Assaulting Battery. $21.80. Wow. We'll get that in a sleeve. Electro Assaulting Battery. It's a 1 and 2 red. Legendary creature, human villain. It's got flying. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, add red. When Electro leaves the battlefield, you may pay X. When you do, he deals X damage to target player. Cool. So you get to build up a bunch of red mana, and when you cast presumably some storm cards, you get to add red mana. And yeah, this is something that would want to get like infinite mana and then have Electro leave the battlefield, and then you deal X damage to target player. Very cool. $21.80. Our next card is Arachnogenesis. That is also worth $23.97. This is a pretty good pack. Let's get it in the sleeve. Arachnogenesis, 2 and a green. It's an instant. Create X 1/2 spider creature tokens with reach, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by non-spider creatures. Wow, so you get to block every creature that's attacking you and presumably kill some of them, prevent all their damage. This is a cool fog effect, and you get a bunch of spider tokens out of it. Very cool. Our last card is Mysterio, Master of Illusion. That is worth $2.75. Okay, pretty good pack. It's got some of the better cards we've pulled. $73.12. Pretty darn good. Our next pack, we get an art series card. It's got a bunch of Spider-Man on it. Masked Meower. That is... oh, that's the wrong number. 82. There we go, $1.48. Lurking Lizards. Oh, I've typed this wrong. Lurking Lizards is $1.83. Inner Demon Gangsters. That is $1.90. Mechanical Mobster. 17 cents. Ominous Asylum. 29 cents. Prowler Misguided Mentor. That's an Eternal card. Worth $6. Nice. Pictures of Spider-Man, 24 cents. Spider-Man Noir, $1.90. Green Goblin Revenant, 68 cents. Swamp, $2.23. Spider-Man 2099, $3.59. Morlun Devourer of Spiders, $3.18. With Great Power, $3.48. Our next card is a foil comeuppance. That is worth $2.80. Next card is Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly. Oops, I'm wrecking my spreadsheet. That is worth $16.32. Nice. It is 1 red-green. The legendary creature Spider-Human Hero. It's got web slinging red-green. That means you can cast it for its web slinging cost if you return a tapped creature to your hand. It's got trample and sensational save. If Scarlet Spider was cast using web slinging, he enters with X 1/1 counters on him, where X is the mana value of the returned creature. Cool, this is huge if you return a big creature with it. Very cool. Okay, we pulled a good card, but we're still down $1.31 on that pack. Get our next pack. Foil hot dog. Hot dog / robot. Selfless police captain. $0.48. Gallant citizen. $1. The cards are all stuck together. Doc Ock's henchman. 22 cents. Masked Meower. $1.48. Guy in the chair. $1. Molten Man Inferno Incarnate. 34 cents. Spider-Mobile. 21 cents. Flash Thompson Spider-Man. $1.26. Sudden Strike. 48 cents. Forest. $3.32. Venom Eddie Brock. It's a mythic. And it's from the Eternal set. That is $48.19. Very, very nice. We'll get that in a sleeve. Let's read it. 4 and 2 black. It's a legendary creature symbiote villain. It has menace. Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Venom. If that creature was a villain, draw a card. Cool. This goes well in the blue-black villains theme. And when a creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Venom, and if it was a villain, draw a card. Yeah, this is a solid creature. It has menace, so it's going to be hard to block. Yeah, I like it. $48 though. Wow. Gigantic. Parker Luck is $3.62. We get another Venom card. Venom Deadly Devourer. That's $29.54. Wow, this is a Venom themed pack. Let's read it. This is an Eternal rare. Venom Deadly Devourer. 2 black and a green. Vigilance, Menace. You pay 3 mana, exile target creature card from a graveyard. When you do, put X 1/1 counters on target symbiote, where X is the exiled card's toughness. Cool. So you play this in a huge toughness deck, and I mean, even if it's just regular creatures, it's still good. Putting X counters on a symbiote. you'd have to be playing a lot of symbiotes for this to be good, I guess. Although Venom's a symbiote, so you can just put it on itself. Yeah, this would get out of hand quickly if you had a big graveyard. Shock. Classic card. $2.88. And Hide on the Ceiling. That is $10.29. That's just through our $10 threshold to get in a sleeve and get read out. Hide on the Ceiling. You pay X and a blue. It's an instant. Exile X target artifacts and/or creatures. Return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Cool, so you get to flicker all your creatures and artifacts for X mana. Very nice. That was a pretty successful pack. We opened $104 in that one pack, making $56.91 on what I paid. The first booster box is empty. Let me grab the second one, and we'll get it open. We're still below expected value. We expected $504, and we've only made $256 so far. So we're actually running bad, if you can believe it. I'm grateful for the money we've made so far, though. Okay, pack number 13. Get an art card. We get Whoosh. Let me get back in my spreadsheet. 48 is $1.31. I can't read that. Stegron the Dinosaur Man. That is worth 18 cents. Scorpion Sting. 56 cents. Kapow. $1.52. Common Crook. 56 cents. Prison Break. 68 cents. Prowler Clawed Thief. 89 cents. Sandman's Quicksand. 24 cents. Robotics Mastery. 25 cents. Forest. That is $3.32. Bioorganic Carapace. We've seen that before. $1.60. Get the next card. Spider-Woman Stunning Savior. We've seen that and we know it's good. $6.53. Thought the other one was worth a lot more. Kraven the Hunter. $3.35. Relentless Assault. That's a mythic worth $11.13. Let's read it and get it in a sleeve. Relentless Assault. It's a sorcery. Untap all creatures that attack this turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. That costs 2 and 2 red. Yeah, not that good in limited. You don't want to be playing these kinds of effects in limited, but maybe in the right constructed deck, you can make an extra turns deck that this works in. Sure. And then Ultimate Green Goblin. That is worth $7.06. Pack number 14. Oh, we lost $8 on the last pack. We get an Art Series card, Selfless Police Captain. 48 cents. Gallant Citizen. Wrong card. 129, not 125. That's $1. Subway train. Oops. 18 cents. Masked Meower. $1.48. Sinister Hideout. 88 cents. Web Shooters. That is $2. Spider Suit. 46 cents. Tombstone Career Criminal. That is $1.58. Raging Goblinoids. 20 cents. Swamp. $2.23. Hide on the Ceiling. $5.24. Maximum Carnage. $1.64. Spinneret and Spiderling. $3.70. Heroic Intervention. Ooh, in foil. This is going to be worth something. Let me get the foil price. I guess the foil price I have is the same as the non-foil price. I think this is worth more than $13.50 though. Heroic Intervention. Get that in a sleeve. Costs 1 and a green. Instant. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Very nice. $13. Probably more. The last one here, I can barely read the collector number. Spider-Punk. Wow, $40.56. What a good pack. Let's get that in a sleeve. Spider-Punk, 1 in a red. It's a legendary creature, spider-human hero. It's a 2/1. It has Riot. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered. Damage can't be prevented. Now, Riot, I don't really remember. I think it's when a creature enters, you get a 1/1 counter or it gets haste. So this is really powerful in a spider deck. Yeah, this would be cool in like a mono red aggro spider deck. Giving everything haste or +1/+1 counters. Damage can't be prevented. Very nice. $40 though. Wow. Must just be because it's a special treatment of it. Very, very nice pack. We gained $27.73. On to pack number 15. Illusion Villain, or a spider. Spider-Man Web Slinger. That is $1.53. Guy in the Chair. $1. Eerie Gravestone. $2.08. Oscorp Research Team. 22 cents. Spider Islanders. 37 cents. Superior Foes of Spider-Man. 67 cents. Craven Proud Predator. 79 cents. Scorpius Seething Striker. That is $1.54. Hobgoblin Mantled Marauder. That is worth 56 cents. Mountain. $2.19. Electro Assaulting Battery again. That is worth $7.25. Interdimensional Web Watch. $2.06. Grasping Tentacles, I think this one was worth a lot. Yeah, $25.50. We've already seen this one. One blue, black. Target opponent mills 8 cards. You may put an artifact card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Cool, we got 2 of these. 9 lives. That is a mythic worth $10.42. Oh man, my cards just fell over. Oh no, the order of all my cards is ruined. Let me fix that in a second. 9 lives, 1 white, enchantment, hexproof. If a source would deal damage to you, prevent that damage and put an incarnation counter on this enchantment. When there are 9 or more incarnation counters on this enchantment, exile it. When this enchantment leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. Oh, so you get to take damage 9 more times and then you die. Pretty cool. Let me fix my cards real quick. Okay, I think I saved the cards in the right order. I think we're good. Let's look at the last card. Peter Parker's Camera. That is worth, wow, $43.20. Sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger there. It is 1 mana. It's an artifact. This artifact enters with 3 film counters on it. You can pay 2 and tap it to remove a film counter from this artifact. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Cool, this is pretty powerful. You get to copy 3 activated or triggered abilities, and there are some powerful triggered and activated abilities. So, very cool. $43.20. Very profitable pack, almost worth $100. We made $51.98 on that pack, and I'm going to start a new pile for these next cards so I don't fall over again. We have broke $1,000 on our total value, and my charts are looking a little broken. I don't have enough space. Let me see if I can fix that. Like these 2 here have ... Never thought I'd get to $1,000. There we go, I fixed it. We get another foil hot dog with a robot on the back. I'm starting a new pile. There we go. Skyward Spider. That is worth 95 cents. Passenger Ferry, 24 cents. Spider-Man No More. Well, that's sad. 44 cents. Spider Islanders, 37 cents. Common Crook, 56 cents. Prowler Misguided Mentor. That's an Eternal card. Worth $6. Nice. Alien Symbiosis. $2.56. Rhino Barreling Brute. $1.37. Spider Slayer Hatred Honed. 24 cents. Island. $3.47. Mysterio Master of Illusion. $11.17. I thought we read this one already, but let's read it again. Mysterio Master of Illusion is 3 and a blue, legendary creature, human villain. When Mysterio enters, create a 3/3 blue illusion villain token for each non-token villain you control. Exile those tokens when Mysterio leaves the battlefield. So cool. This is a mythic that goes well with, it's a rare that goes well with the villains theme. There's lots of villains in the Spider-Man set. So you get a bunch of 3/3s for every villain you have, and they go away when Mysterio goes away. Very cool. I like the effect. Shadow of the Goblin. That is worth $4.39. Cheering Crowd. $3.44. Beast Within, a very playable card. That is worth $5.43. Very cool art. And then Interdimensional Web Watch. $4.43. Cool. On to the next pack. Human Citizen / Treasure. Craven's Cats. 23 cents. Spider Rex Daring Dino. $1.19. Venomized Cat. $1.31. Amazing Acrobatics. 93 cents. Suburban Sanctuary. 45 cents. Spider-Man India. We've seen that one a few times. 26 cents. Vulture Scheming Scavenger. $1.61. Aunt May. $2. Molten Man Inferno Incarnate. 34 cents. We get a Plains. I think that's the Worst Land. 83 cents. Spider-Verse. That is worth $11.86. We've already read this one. 3/2 red. The legend rule doesn't apply to spiders you control, and whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you copy it. If you do, choose new targets for the copy. If it's a permanent spell, it gains haste. Do this only once each turn. Very nice. Lady Octopus Inspired Inventor is $9.55. Iron Spider Stark Upgrade. $15.41. I'll read it again. We already got one of these. That is 3 mana. It's a 2/3 with Vigilance. You can tap to put a 1/1 counter on each artifact, creature, and/or vehicle you control. You can pay 2 to remove 2 1/1 counters from among artifacts you control and draw a card. Cool. Goblin Bombardment. Different flavor than the usual Magic card. $6.01. Craven's Last Hunt. That is $2.99. We make $7.57 on that pack. We have a Spider / Treasure. Spider-Man Webslinger. $1.53. Guy in the Chair. $1. Eerie Gravestone. $2.08. Oscorp Research Team. 22 cents. Amateur Hero. That's an Eternal card worth $2.08. Whoa. Madame Web Clairvoyant. 86 cents. Costume Closet. 37 cents. Spiders Man Heroic Horde. 23 cents. Green Goblin Revenant. 68 cents. Forest. $3.32. Peter Parker's Camera. That is worth $14.41. This is a not as fancy printing as the other one we opened, but still pretty good. This is the one that costs 1 mana. It's an artifact that enters with 3 film counters on it, and you can pay 2 to tap to copy a target activated or triggered ability you control. And you can choose new targets. Cool. We got 2 of those now. The Death of Gwen Stacy again. Heartbreaking. $7.72. Gwenum Remorseless. I think that's one of the best cards we can get. Yeah, $61.64 from this slot. Very nice. 3 and black. It's a 4/4 with Death Touch and Lifelink. Whenever Gwenum attacks until the end of turn, you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play cards from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. Cool. So you get to, it's Bolas' Citadel on a stick. You get to cast a bunch of cards from the top of your library, paying your life total. Very powerful effect. It's hard because you have to attack with it first, so that it's vulnerable to removal. But if you can give it haste or dodge removal, very, very powerful card. Yeah, $61.64. Wonder how much of that is the release price and how much of that's actual value. Next card is Traumatize. It's $8.45. Very nice. We get a foil Gwenum Remorseless in the same pack. That one's worth $66.96. I won't read it again because we just read it, but that is a bonkers pack. 2 Gwenum Remorseless in the same pack. Very, very nice. 1 foil, 1 non-foil. Wow. $171.55 in that pack. We are up $124.15 on that pack. And overall, we're up $457.18. Incredible. Next pack. We get an Art Series card. Angry Rabble. 53 cents. Vibrant Cityscape. 57 cents. Venomized Cat. $1.31. Starling Aerial Ally. $1.07. Spider-Man No More. 44 cents. Chameleon Master of Disguise. 46 cents. Rhino's Rampage. 32 cents. School Days. 24 cents. And Spider. Piloted by Penny. $1.68. Swamp is $2.23. Cheering Crowd. That's $2.81. Lizard Connor's Curse. $2.41. Ooh, Venom Deadly Devourer. I think we already opened that one, but happy to get it again. Let's put it in a sleeve and read it again. 2 black-green legendary creature symbiote villain. It's a 4/4 with Vigilance and Menace. You can pay 3 to exile target creature card from a graveyard. When you do, put X/1/1 counters on target symbiote, where X is the exiled card's toughness. Yeah, we already read this one, but it's still a powerful card. Path to Exile in foil. That is apparently $89. That's the release date price, so it might not be accurate, but we'll take it. $89. Costs a white mana, instant, exile target creature. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put that card on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Very powerful removal spell. Don't know that it's going to be $89, but at launch it is, so I'll take that to the bank. Very, very nice. And the next one is Multiversal Passage. 206. That is, wow, $47.82. What a stacked pack. Let's get that in a sleeve. This is a land. As this enters, choose a basic land type. Then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. And this land is the chosen type. Cool. It's whatever basic land you want it to be. Except when it's in the library. Very cool. And there's something on the sleeve. Did I get it? There we go. Cool, $180.43 in that pack for $133 of profit. Dang. We were catching up to the expected value. I'm very lucky that my local game store was just charging like MSRP on the collector boosters, because if I had paid like $1,000 Canadian for each booster box, I would not be very profitable. Okay, Human Citizen / Treasure. City Pigeon. That is $1.84. Venom Evil Unleashed. $1.35. Daily Bugle Reporters. $1.41. Doc Ock Sinister Scientist. $1.04. Alchemax Slayer Bots. That's an Eternal card. Worth $1.78. Wall Crawl. 78 cents. Spider Girl Legacy Hero. 80 cents. Flying Octobot. 21 cents. Web Warriors. I can barely read the collector number. I got it. 270. We get a mountain. Gorgeous. Rent is due. $10.93. Let's get it in the sleeve, and I'll read it out for you. Rent is due. White mana. Enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, you may tap 2 untrapped creatures and/or treasures you control. If you do, draw a card. Otherwise, sacrifice this enchantment. Okay, so you can turn your untapped creatures into cards. Would be good in a token stack, I guess. Or if you have lots of treasure. Yeah. Cool. Our next card is Strength of Will. $2.67. That is worth $2.27. We get Silk Webweaver. That is worth $2.78. We get another Path to Exile. This one's a more reasonable $6.77. And Shadow of the Goblin. $4.87. Okay. Pack number 21. We get a spider / treasure token. Thwip. Haven't seen that card yet. 25 cents. Whoosh. $1.31. Stigron the Dinosaur Man. 18 cents. Scorpion Sting. 56 cents. Kapow. $1.52. Web Shooters. $2. Sudden Strike, 48 cents. Grendel, Spawn of Null. That's an Eternal card, worth $5.33. Wraith, Vicious Vigilante, $1.19. Plains, 83 cents. Superior Spider-Man, that is $2.71. We get Arana, Heart of the Spider, $2.76. Multiversal Passage, $2.06. That is worth $26.43. We already read it, but I'll read it again for anyone who's watching on perhaps a YouTube short. Multiversal Passage. Land. As this land enters, choose a basic land type, then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. This land is the chosen type. Cool. Next one is Hex. That is worth $3.25. And we get Dr. Octopus Master Planner. That looks like a mythic. $2.99. Not good enough. Okie dokie. We got 3 packs left. We get an Art Series card. Lurking Lizards. $1.83. Inner Demons Gangsters, 23 cents. Mechanical Mobster, 17 cents. Whip, 25 cents. Spider-Man Web Slinger, $1.53. Grendel, Spawn of Null. That's an Eternal card. That is worth $5.33. Wraith, Vicious Vigilante, $1.19. Terrific Team Up, $1.09. Ezekiel Sims Spider Totem, 33 cents. Swamp, $2.23. Silk Web Weaver, $3.26. Doc Ox Tentacles, $1.39. Pumpkin Bombs, $21.54. Very cool. It's one of the Eternal cards. Let's read it. 1 in a red. It's an artifact. You can tap and discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, then put a fuse counter on this artifact. It deals damage equal to the number of fuse counters on it to target opponent. They gain control of this artifact. So cool. This is like card advantage, and you get to kill something, but your opponent gets to do it too, and then they get to kill something. So this could be very powerful. Very good in like politicking in Commander. You can give it to your friend, and then they can give it back to you. Very cool. We get Ponder. This one is foil. I've got $8.32 on this one. I might be missing the foil price though. It could be more. I'm going to put it in a sleeve just in case. Ponder is a blue mana, a sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle and draw a card. Oscorp Industries, with a tiny bit of crimping on the bottom, I think. $10.14. We'll get that in a sleeve, and we'll read it out. It's a land that enters tapped. When it enters from a graveyard, you lose 2 life. You can tap to add blue, black, or red, and it has Mayhem. So if you discard this, you're allowed to play it from your graveyard for that turn. So this is very good with discard effects. Yeah. $10.14. We make $11.43 on that pack. Let's go to the second last pack. Get another hot dog. Food/robot. Taxi driver. 15 cents. Bagel and Schmear. $1.33. Venom's Hunger. $1.43. Grow Extra Arms. $1.55. Twisted Spider Clone is an Eternal card. That's $1.79. Lila Holograph Assistant is another Eternal card, one of the best ones we can open in that slot. It's worth $6.74. Web Warriors, 97 cents. Spider piloted by Penny, $2.02. Heroes Hangout, $1.81. Island, $3.47. Trying to take one card at a time. Lethal Projection. It's an Eternal card. Worth $12. Must be because these Eternal cards are a little more rare. It's 3 and a black. It's a sorcery. Destroy target creature. Return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Cool. Good removal and good card advantage. I would play this in limited for sure. Not that you could. Hydroman Fluid Felon is $5.51. Imposter Syndrome, the meme, that is worth $10.71. It's 4 and 2 blue. It's an enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. Cool. I don't know that blue wants to be doing combat very much, but non-token creatures dealing damage, create a token. You can't copy the tokens because it's non-token copies. But very nice. You get the enters battlefield effect again. You get a big creature out of it, maybe. I like it. Infernal Grasp. That is worth $5.17. Cool art with Venom. Lady Octopus Inspired Adventure. That is worth $10.24. It's got the extended art on it. It's a blue mana, legendary creature, human scientist villain. Whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an ingenuity counter on Lady Octopus. You can tap it, and you may cast an artifact spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of ingenuity counters on Lady Octopus without paying its mana cost. Very nice. You get to cheat in artifacts. Blue wants to be drawing lots of cards, so this goes very well with that. Yeah, eventually you can make some big artifacts come in the battlefield. Yeah, I mean, by the time you get to tap with it, you're at least getting 1 mana artifacts on the battlefield, so even that's pretty good. Yeah, cheating stuff's always good. Okay, last pack of the collector boosters. Can we get a Soulstone? We are certainly up a lot. We are up $617.84 across all the packs. This has been very successful. We've got a human citizen / treasure. Skyward Spider. It's 95 cents. Passenger ferry, 24 cents. Spider-Man No More, 44 cents. Spider Islanders, 37 cents. Common Crook, 56 cents. Terrific Team Up, $1.09. Morbius the Living Vampire, $1.28. Scarlet Spider Kane, $1.16. Spider-Man Noir, very cool art. That's worth $3.74. We get a Planes, 83 cents. A foil multiversal passage, that's worth $8.59. J. Jonah Jameson, that's worth $9.62. Eddie Brock, losing cards here. Eddie Brock, that is worth, wow, $37.97. Let's get that in a sleeve. One card at a time, please. Eddie Brock is 2 and a black. Legendary creature, human hero villain. When Eddie Brock enters, return target creature card with mana value 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, little baby reanimation. You can pay 3 black, red, green to transform Eddie Brock. Activate only as a sorcery. And so on the backside, it's Venom, Lethal Protector. 3 black, red, green. Legendary creature, symbiote, hero, villain. It has Menace, Trample, and Haste. Whenever Venom attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw X cards, then you may put a permanent with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the sacrificed creature's mana value. It's a 5/5. Wow, yeah, sacrificing a creature, drawing cards, and then finding a replacement from your graveyard is pretty darn good. I can see why this is $37.97. We get Parallel Lives. That is worth $23.78. What a good pack. Parallel Lives is 3 and a green. It's an enchantment. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of those tokens instead. Yeah, this is great in Commander. Making twice as many tokens in a token-themed deck is pretty good. Very happy with it. Our last card of the video. Maximum Carnage is only $3.49. Okay, so how did we do? We spent $1,137.60 US. We got out $1,802.15 for a $664.55 profit. We did worse than the expected value, which was $1,008 profit, but we're still pretty happy with what we pulled. Keep in mind, these are the release day prices, so they're going to be a lot more expensive than if you open them later. But I'm very happy with the value I got out of the collector boosters. I'm going to sell these right away so that I get the maximum amount of value out of them. Let's take a look over on the left here at our top pulls. We got a foil Path to Exile, which apparently is $89, might not be. A foil Gwenom Remorseless at $66. A regular Gwenom Remorseless at $61. Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider for $58. Foil Venom Eddie Brock for $48.19. We got a foil Multiversal Passage for $47. Foil Peter Parker's Camera for $43. Foil Spectacular Spider-Man for $41. Foil Spider-Punk for $40. Eddie Brock / Venom Lethal Protector for $37. Foil Anti-Venom Horrifying Healer for $37.50. 2 Venom Deadly Devourers for $29.54. A Multiversal Passage for $26. 2 Grasping Tentacles for $25. Symbiote Spider-Man for $24. Arachnogenesis for $23. Parallel Lives for $23. Electro Assaulting Battery for $21. Pumpkin Bombs for $21. Foil Spider-Verse for $19.44. and a Mindbreak Trap for 1681. Pretty good pulls. If we look at the value opened charts, we did, for comparing actual value to expected value in each slot, the foil common we did a little better, foil uncommon we did about average, foil full art land we did a little under, foil default frame rare / mythic we went a little over, booster fun we were pretty decently above value, borderless source material we were under value, and foil booster fun rare / mythic we were under value. I think a lot of that expected value is coming from the costume change cards that are like $1,000 each, and we didn't get any of those. So, but still quite happy with the expected value, or the actual value we pulled out of these packs. Yeah, that's it for today. If you'd like to check out some other content on my channel, I've done some Magic Arena gameplay, and I also do Team Fortress 2 loot box unboxings. Love if you check those out. And if you want to come join the Discord, there's a link in the description. You can come chat with me about Magic or anything loot box and trading card related. Would love to hear from you. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, like the video, all that nonsense. Hey, so as an addendum to the video, I went and updated the prices right after I finished editing the video. So this is on September 20th instead of September 19th. And you can see the total value dropped down to $1,200 with a $79 profit. And the expected value dropped down to $1,965, which is an expected value of making $828. You can see all the prices updated on the left, and I updated my chart at the top to kind of reflect the prices more realistically than the launch day prices. So this is what I'll use going forward. Okay, thanks, take care, bye-bye.